What's up, y'all? So the other day I dropped a video going over my favorite albums of the year, at least. At the end, I asked people to drop their favorite albums in the comments, and I kept getting recommended Ken Carson's A Great Chaos. I obliged because I'm always down for listening to new music, and it was interesting to say the least. It wasn't bad, definitely not bad. The best I could describe it is it's like a foreign language to me. Then it dawned on me, I'm getting old. Not old, but older than them. And this is not made for me. Now don't get me wrong, I fucked with some songs, but overall the sound was not catered to my taste. And that's okay. I want to show y'all something real quick. I want to see if y'all agree. It's a chart or really a graph of music taste versus your age. Most people fall along these lines. We start at the music that you grew up on. This music is the foundation of your taste. It usually consists of a mix of music that your parents listened to and other music that you were forced to be around, because usually at that age you are not in the position to pick the music. I would say this is from about 3 to 10 years old. Then comes the music that you seek out. These are the bones of what your future music tastes are. This is when you're most susceptible to new genres and themes in music, and this is from about 10 to 25. Then after that, your music taste kind of solidifies. You'll have a couple albums, a couple artists in rotation for the majority of the time, 25 till infinity. Very rarely are your music tastes gonna flip at this point. That's not to say that you'll never like or love anything else, but you'll more likely be back to this genre, this type of music. When I was growing up, my dad hated my music. He didn't like the cursing, he didn't like the sexual tones or the violence. One, because I'm his son and obviously he doesn't want me listening to stuff like that. And two, because when he was growing up, he was listening to Kurtis Blow and Sugar Hill Gang, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
To him, that was good music. And I don't think it's bad. To me, it's just boring. All respect to that era, but let's not act like someone is throwing on fucking Rapper's Delight to get hype in the morning. As a side note, my dad had one rule if I was playing music in the house: no cursing unless I was listening to Tupac or KRS-One. Let me know if y'all parents had rules like that. Let's get back to it. The evolution of rap between Kurtis Blow to Lil Wayne might as well be 200 years. To this day, my dad listens to gospel, Pac, and Keith Sweat. When my cousins used to pull up listening to Chopped and Screwed, Big Mo, and Zero and shit like that, my dad used to ask if there was something wrong with the radio. It's just foreign to him. He doesn't understand. It's not made for him. But we loved it, and that's what I think is going on now. But as usual, I would like to use a movie to help get my point across. I'm not gonna lie, some of it's a stretch, but I'm gonna need you to walk with me for a sec. Today we're using I Am Legend, starring Will Smith, one of the most accomplished rappers of all time. We'll talk about that another day. So Robert Neville is living in a post-apocalyptic world. He is what he believes the last person on Earth. He goes out during the day to gather supplies and hunt in his beautiful car. But every evening, he locks down behind fortified doors and windows and listens to the horror that surrounds him as the Dark Seekers take over the night. You see, the days of old are gone. The Earth has taken back all her possessions, but Neville is on a mission to fix that. He's gonna find a cure for the virus affecting these poor people and restore humanity. But we're gonna find out that it is not quite that simple. I would venture to say that this is how people who think hip-hop is dying see the world. They think it's gonna get revived, and if they hold out long enough, some type of miracle will happen. Maybe, but let's see. After a very sad, unforeseen event, spoiler alert for a 17-year-old movie,
let's go, Sam!
Neville plans to go out in a blaze of glory against the Darkseeker. Just as he's about to be taken to the upper room, he's saved by, surprise, surprise, another human. When he wakes up there in his house, Anna and Ethan, the other survivors, are making themselves right at home, cooking his food, watching his Shrek.
Talking to
Me?
After some much needed human interaction, she then tells him that they're going to a place where there are other humans.
We're going to Vermont, to the survivors colony.
More survivors. Yay, right? No. He does not want to believe that. He either doesn't want his work to be for nothing or doesn't want to get his hopes up to be crushed again. This, again, parallels to us old heads. And I say us because I am what you call an old soul. I like older music. I am 28, so I am right in the middle of both these generations. We can get a bit ornery about the subject. We say things like, this music isn't shit compared to ours. It was the golden age. They don't make music like this anymore.
And I don't want this to come off like
old nigga man shit.
But it is. You want me to say?
I want you to be aware of your business. I want you to know whether you in a 360 or not. I want you to appreciate the culture that changed your life and took you from college dorm rooms eating fucking oodles and noodles. I want you who's well-spoken and articulates himself well.
My nigga. Chill.
Yeah, hold up. In the last act, we find out the reason the Darkseekers were out to get Neville and his pretty little dog. Earlier, when he took his patient that he almost killed, he actually took the wife of the lead Darkseeker. Neville did note that the Darkseeker acted weirdly when it happened, but just chalked it up to being ravenous. Because these mindless beings couldn't possibly be sentient, right? And then the alternate / better ending, they remove the action movie shit and instead go with a more thought-provoking idea that these people are not sick, they're just new people. They have thoughts and feelings and families. They're just not normal to us. Neville was actually the villain the whole time. He was the monster that crept in while they were asleep and stole one of their people. He's the one trying to revive a society that was long gone at that point, ignoring the new one that had already been established. And just like him, we're the ones that keep knocking the younger people's music just because we don't like it. I think it's time for us to let that shit go. Hip-hop is not just ours, it's theirs too, and nothing is gonna stop them from putting their own spin on things. There's also still some very good artists out here that will probably appeal to you, but you're taking up your time complaining about the artists that you don't like. Also, ironically enough, the Darkseekers are vampire-like creatures with an aversion to light, and this whole video was spawned to talk about a group of people that more or less call themselves vampires. But yeah, I don't think we should be going against nature itself. Things are gonna evolve whether we're here or not, and do we want people just imitating our old music just so we can be happy? They're not gonna put as much love into it. It's gonna water the rest of the music down. I don't see an upside to it. The music that we have is so good because the quality matches the quantity of it. If we had a bunch of it, it would be less rare, therefore losing its value. We love it because it sticks out as an era that this was the peak. Let it be the peak. But yeah, that's all I had to say on it. If you haven't already, please subscribe because you belong here. Y'all be safe. One more comparison before you go. At the beginning, we see a news broadcast talking about how a scientist / doctor has found a cure for cancer. These patients mutate or evolve into the first Darkseekers, who then go on to spread their disease to others. I think this mirrors the rise of streaming platforms. These companies' claim to fame was creating a service to combat piracy, which was a rising issue in the early 2000s. So if we see Spotify founder Daniel Ek as the lead scientist and pirating as the cancer, when he introduced Spotify in 2011, it did in fact cut down on the piracy for music, but it also shifted the music industry's focus to making extremely popular songs, viral hits, which caused artists to start throwing everything at the wall and speeding up the process in which they had to evolve and create new ways to excite audiences, which led us to here. So realistically, if you really wanted to save rap, hip hop, music in general, we would have to go back to CDs so that you could spend the money and support that artist directly instead of them getting pennies on the dollar for your stream. But we can't do that because a lot of cars nowadays don't even come with CD players. We are not going to evolve backwards.